there, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I was playing the Gear VR game. You can see the case over here. And I've been playing for like 2 hours, and then eventually if your phone gets too warm, it lets you know, please take your phone out so it can cool down so you don't damage your phone, obviously. That's a pretty important piece of tech, and I don't have a spare one. It's my everyday device. So, but as I was going over the Gear VR, I was looking at Bluetooth controllers. I recently did a review on this. It's a really, really small Bluetooth controller. This is the 8-bit do little Bluetooth controller, and you can kind of see there it's got a D-pad and your ABXY or square, circle, triangle, X buttons, and kind of a start and select down here. And up top you've got some trigger buttons, a USB charging port, and a light on the bottom. And depending on what button you push to start this up, it will pair with different devices like your phone or your computer or, you know, a Mac, you know, whatever. So this is wonderful. It's portable. I've been using it for a lot of my games, but their big problem with the Gear VR is incompatibility with Bluetooth controllers. I have a really hard time finding the right Bluetooth controller for the game. And all the games, you know, are independently made for the most part, and they don't have the same, you know, input structure for Bluetooth devices. So this is good. It's portable. It's great. Lasts forever. You can charge it with a portable charger that I also throw in my VR bag, but it just needs a little bit more. So this doesn't work on games like the 360 VR carts, which is awesome, but doesn't work on certain things there, as my co-host joins us over there. So it doesn't work on that. It doesn't work on the new Anshar Wars 2, which is a really sweet game. It's by Oculus Studios, and it's kind of a space flight game where you're, you know, a third-person ship, and you fly around, and, hey, get out of here. And you fly around and do all these missions, and the trigger buttons are your weapons, lasers, missiles, and you have the joystick for speed control, and then your head is the direction. So you have to sit in like an office chair because you're constantly going like this to steer your ship, because your head is the steering thing. Next controller, the Ouya controller. Now Ouya was great, good concept, just didn't have good following, and eventually fell through and was bought recently by Razer, and they kind of just eliminated that brand. Good Bluetooth controllers. They're pretty cool. They're pretty well built, feel good in the hands. The triggers are sort of the lame part, but the bumpers are fine, and the bumpers are normally what games use. It's either triggers or bumpers, and bumpers are normally what is used, especially in some of the spaceflight games that I play. So this one is actually pretty good. There is some lag, I feel. I don't get any lag with the little controller for some reason. This, I feel like I get a little bit more lag with. You do have to carry batteries with you because this is not rechargeable. These little colored shells come off the side here. They just magnetically pop on and off, and it works. Plus, to this, compared to the small one, is this center section here is actually a trackpad. So if you're online, you're browsing, whatever, this can, you know, help you guide around when, you know, you can't see it. Obviously, you can't see the controller in your hand when you're have the headset on. So that's good. This is better than the little teeny tiny controller. Xbox controller, I don't know why I have that over here. Here's the other one. The Amazon Fire game controller. This is the winner for me. I personally like the size, a little bit smaller than a 360 controller. No, it's pretty much the same size. A little bit, tiny bit smaller. Sharper angles and everything like that on it. The Ouya controller is the biggest. Ouya controller. So it is just a little bit bigger, but this has the same sort of feel as an Xbox controller. The layout is, pretty standard on everything. Got your ABXY. Even the thumbsticks here have the little, the little buttons here at the top of the joystick, so you can it gives you that extra grip. This is more like the PlayStation thumbstick, which is convex and not concave. These are concave, so your thumbs the tips of your thumbs kind of sit in there really well, just like an Xbox controller. The size is great. I do have a little bit smaller hands. The triggers, you can kind of see, resemble more of a 360 controller. And the tactile sound, I don't know if you can, feels just like a 360 controller, just a little bit smaller. Batteries, you do have to take AA batteries with you, so it's not, you don't get that bonus rechargeable thing like the small 8-bit Do controller. But it works on every single game I've tried so far. I have like 20-something games, and it has worked with every single one that requires a controller. Some games do not require a Hey! Get out of here. Pain in the neck. Some games do not require a controller. You could, use the little trackpad on the side of your head and use the back button and other things like that. You can kind of swipe on the headset itself, but doing that for like an hour really gets annoying. So sometimes if the game doesn't require a controller, sometimes a little bit nicer to have a controller. So this is the one that I choose. It pairs well, very quick, super easy. You have the media buttons down here to play and fast forward and other things like that, and you can use those in a couple different games. If you're using some of the music VR apps, it actually works out pretty well. Or if you're watching videos like YouTube videos in VR 360 mode. Up top here you've got some Android buttons, which are pretty standard. You've got a menu button, you've got home, and you have back button here, and then this is for the Amazon Game Center, which is not really used. It just doubles as an extra home button when you're on the Android platform. But in terms of controllers, those are my three favorites. I've heard some of the other ones, but in terms of compatibility and just an overall really good controller, this is the winner for me. Now this is about $40 to $50 on Amazon, but still cheaper than some of the other controllers. The SteelSeries controller, it's like the SteelSeries XL, whatever, another wireless controller like that, but retails for $100. That is a lot of money. PS4 controllers, I hear, are also, cheaper, obviously. Xbox One controllers are cheaper, obviously. But PlayStation 4 actually, the controller, I don't have it, it's in the other room. It actually has the worst compatibility. It's bad. And the little top of the PlayStation controllers that have that little trackpad really doesn't work well. It's really not intended for the Android Oculus platform. What else? That's about it. I really like the Amazon controller. Price is good. Controller's good. Compatibility is good. It's kind of the diamond in the rough there. Not too many people have these unless you game on the Amazon Fire TV. And I do game a little bit on my Amazon Fire TV because there's good ports and stuff for it. You can play like Crazy Taxi and some of the Grand Theft Auto games. And there's a couple good Android ports that have come out for that. And that's okay. But pick one of these up if you're into the VR stuff, and it's really one of the better controllers that I've had experience with. So let me know, leave a comment, like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I will be around to answer them to the best of my ability. You are... Cats. So thanks for hanging around, guys. I appreciate it. If I missed anything, if you think there's a controller that's better than the Amazon one, if you have the Amazon Fire controller, let me know if you've used it in the VR applications. Maybe I haven't tested it enough to find any flaws with it just yet. But let me know either way. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel because we've got lots more videos coming up. We've got a whole series coming up on Bitcoin here. This Bitcoin station's running quietly in the background for once. So we'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for hanging around.